was another grueling day in the witness box for Oscar Pistorius. The athlete faced his second day of cross-examination from prosecutor Gerrie Nel. Nel described Pistorius as a liar, something that the athlete flatly denied. Our reporter Dan Williams was in court. Dan, talk us through the events of the day.
Yes, as you say, it's been another tough day for Oscar Pistorius in cross-examination as Gerrie Nel, the lead prosecutor, once again looks to poke holes in the athlete's version of events. And perhaps, although it didn't quite have quite the same drama as yesterday, it certainly had plenty of other major talking points.
Given the drama and emotion of the last few days, the Oscar Pistorius trial remains front-page news for the world's media. Now started by attacking the apology Pistorius made to the Steenkamp family on Monday, ahead of the athlete's testimony.
What did you apologise for? You apologised for a tragedy.
I apologise for their sorrow, for their emptiness. I apologise for taking their daughter's life.
The word, I'm sorry I killed her, is not there. You're sorry that you have to think of them. You're sorry for their pain and sorrow, but you're not sorry that you killed their daughter. It's not in there.
I'm terribly sorry that I took the life of their daughter, my lady.
Now you say that.
Now told the court that Pistorius does not take responsibility for his actions. Some of the lesser but still serious firearm charges were brought up. The athlete told the court that he did not fire a shot from the sunroof of a car in 2012. For the other firearm charge, Pistorius admitted he did hold the gun when it went off in a restaurant, but he did not pull the trigger.
That gun cannot fire if you don't pull the trigger. Who pulled that trigger?
I didn't pull the trigger, my lady.
Who did?
I don't know, my lady. I didn't pull the trigger.
Let's look at it. You had it in your hand. Am I right?
That's correct, my lady.
You ejected the one bullet.
That's correct, my lady.
Nobody else touched that gun.
That's correct, my lady.
But a shot went off.
That's correct, my lady.
If that firearm is incapable of firing a shot without somebody pulling the trigger, who pulled the trigger?
I'm not sure, my lady. What I'm saying is that I didn't have my finger on the trigger.
No, you can't say that. I'm not sure.
Now question Pistorius on the text messages that were sent between the athlete and Reeva Steenkamp, and in particular the one that said she was sometimes scared of him. Now said that the messages were all about the athlete, and he questioned their relationship.
The phrase "I love you" appeared twice in Reeva's WhatsApps. Both times she wrote that to her mother, never to you. And you never to her, am I right?
That's correct, my lady. I never got the opportunity to tell Reeva that I loved her.
Now told the court that Pistorius was reckless with a firearm and careless with his ammunition. On the shooting of Steenkamp, Pistorius says he cannot remember firing 4 shots into the door. He says it was an accident. Now called Pistorius' version a lie, something the defendant denies. The trial continues. Dan Williams, CCTV, Pretoria.
Well, joining me now is South Africa attorney Karen van Eck. First of all, Karen, we saw some of the major exchanges between Nel and Pistorius there. Do you feel, though, that Nel is doing enough to show that there was intent, or do you feel it's just at the moment unpicking the athlete, his personality?
Definitely today was more character witness, and then also again just, I think, setting the stage to come back and then make it more emotional day again tomorrow, like yesterday was. It was as if he was a bit laid back on the murder charge, and he didn't go fully for what exactly happened there, more on the details of what was going on in the room. And I think at the moment he's just setting the stage to come back and say, well, is that really what happened? And if you've told us a lie about the first part, about the details of the small parts, what are you going to say about us, about the event itself, but really of the shooting?
There was a lot of focus, wasn't there, on the lesser charges, the lesser firearm charges today. How did you feel that Pistorius handled that?
I think they're not finished with it. I think Gerrie Nel is definitely going to come back and touch again on those points. You know, for the incident of the shooting out of the sunroof, Oscar just gave a bare denial, and you know it didn't happen. And Samantha and Darren Fresco is just lying about it, and he can't remember that it happened, and he can't remember that he was ever there. So I don't think Gerrie Nel is happy with that. I think he's definitely going to come back, but it's as if he gave him a breather from yesterday's emotional part to come to do this now, and then in the future he's going to come back and just compare the two statements again and you know poke holes into that testimony.
Some of Oscar Pistorius' answers, they're quite long-winded. As a legal person, how do you feel that in a way helps his performance or not in court? How will the judge see that?
You know what, he's really stuck to some of his answers. For instance, saying, I took her life. And he doesn't want to say, I killed her or I shot her or some of that. And that is good. You know, we all understand that he's spoken to his counsel and that they've briefed him on not what the story should be, but how to answer those questions. So that in itself is a good thing, that he's sticking to what he's saying. But being these long answers, Gerrie Nel is poking holes into those details that he's giving, because now he's saying, well, I was on the balcony, I wasn't on the balcony, the fans were on it, but I wasn't on it. And because the sentences are getting long and the answers are getting long, I think it's difficult for him to keep track of the details. And it might not be because he's making it up. It's just because, you know, when we answer stuff, we usually answer it a bit different and just colouring it in a bit more, but it's giving more ammunition to Gerrie Nel.
Yeah, and on Gerrie Nel, I mean, this court case obviously is on television, of course. It's been beamed around the world. It's looked pretty brutal. He's been showing these images of a bloodied Reeva Steenkamp's head. But is this kind of quite this kind of act? Is that quite normal in a South African court?
You know what, if we remember back to when Barry Roos started with his first witness and cross-examining them, and everybody was saying, well, look at this guy, he's badgering the witness, he's bullying them and whatever, and Gerrie Nel is just doing the exact same thing at the moment. I just think there's a bit more, a sense of emotional connection with the athlete or the accused here, so maybe people are perceiving it as being a lot worse than it should be. But that is exactly what he's supposed to be doing. He's supposed to go at the witness and go for every detail. That's what Barry Roos was doing. And he's going to listen a bit when we get to the rest of the witnesses, I think. It's not going to be that brutal. But we knew from the start that when the moment that Oscar Pistorius is going to be under cross-examination, it was going to be difficult. It's not supposed to be easy. He is up for 4 very difficult and very bad charges.
Karen, thank you so much for that. So there we have it. Day 21 tomorrow, still no end in sight, that's for sure. And once again, Oscar Pistorius will be cross-examined by Gerrie Nel tomorrow.
Indeed, thank you very much for that. That CCTV's Dan Williams interviewing South African attorney Karen van Eck. Will be keeping tabs on the developments, of course, in day 21 of the Oscar Pistorius trial right here on Africa Live.